I'm about to do this review of Kiryu.
Bless you. So what's his figure name?
His name is Mechagodzilla, but he also goes by the name of Kiryu.
Bless you.
Why are you telling me bless me?
Aren't you sneezing?
No, it's Mechagodzilla, but his also has the name of Kiryu.
So the figure's name is Kiryu.
Bless you.
What?
What? Wait, what?
Yeah! Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to play some football? Just let's go! If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
What's going on, people? LP2000 right back at you with another figure review, and today I'm doing the Kiryu Mechagodzilla 2002 Ric Boy from the movie Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla or Godzilla X Mechagodzilla. First of all, let me just say I want to give a huge shout out and thank you for Jeffrey Muehleck. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. I'm sorry about that, but I want to give a huge shout out to you and a huge thank you to you for selling me this figure and basically working with me to get this figure. I really do appreciate it. And you know how we do things around here? Before we get into the awesome figure, we gotta get into the box. So let's put Kiryu out the way and go with the box. And this is the box here. Now, mind you, this came out at Summer Wonderfest festival in Japan around, I think July or August 2015. And you have a picture, the silhouette picture of the figure on the box right here. Godzilla Against or X Mechagodzilla, which is Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla when they brought it here to the US. I think this is Summer Wonder Festival 2015, 2002, and I believe it's a Ric Boy edition because it does come with light up eyes. So that's pretty much with the box, and that's it. With your legal drawing on the back, and that's it. So let's get into the awesome figure. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. Yes, this is a really an awesome, amazing figure. Now they did come out with the RMC, a poly resin one of this figure. I think in 2012. The standard was just Kiryu by itself. The Ric Boy came with the blue forearm guns as well as the blue back missile pack, a backpack where the robot shot his missiles out. And let me just start off by giving a little backstory about this figure. As far as personally for me, now I do have a Kiryu, but I have the one from the next entry in the series, Godzilla X Mechagodzilla Tokyo SOS or Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I got just a standard version of that figure, which you'll see in a couple seconds in size comparisons. But I always wanted a Mechagodzilla with, at least the Millennium Mechagodzilla, I wanted the Millennium Mechagodzilla with the backpack and the forearm guns. And I did want to get it at the time that was released around August of last year. But it was able to slip through my hands at the time. And I said to myself, if I ever get another opportunity to try and get one for a decent price, I will get my hands on one. Enter Jeffrey Muehleck. Once again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. But he had one for sale, and we was able to do business, and I really do thank him for it. But yes, this really is an awesome piece. It really is. I'm a huge Mechagodzilla fan. He's probably like number 2 when it comes to Godzilla villains. For me, you already know what number 1 is. You already know the 3-headed dragon. We already know. But I'm fascinated by Mechagodzilla in every incarnation that he has been in the Godzilla series. Now the movies that he was in, like I'm a fan of the Showa, but when we get to the Millenniums, I kind of have a little gripe with them a little bit, but I do appreciate the film for what it is. So let's get up close and personal. As a matter of fact, we just go straight into the size comparison. As a matter of fact, the first size comparison is going to be between this version of Kiryu and the next version of Kiryu from Godzilla Tokyo SOS. All right, so sit tight. Okay, here we go. Like I said, I'm gonna bring in the other version of Kiryu in a few seconds, but I just want to get an up close and personal look at this awesome version of Mechagodzilla. X Plus did a wonderful job, you know what I'm saying, with the color, the paint scheme, the pose, everything about this figure is really nice. And that's one thing I enjoy about this version of Mechagodzilla for the Millenniums films. is that this version of Mechagodzilla or Kiryu, he really does look like a mechanical version of Godzilla. This version of Mechagodzilla really looks more like Godzilla. He's more like his mechanical counterpart. Whereas the Showa, he kind of looked like an alien version of it, which is exactly what it was. I mean, he did look like Godzilla, but he looked like a distorted alien version of Godzilla. Then you go to 1993 with Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla Part 2, or 2 really. That Godzilla looks more like the Heisei Godzilla, but when in terms of just looking exactly like Godzilla himself, I think the Kiryu really excels in that when it comes to versions of Mechagodzilla. The detail on this thing is really, really good. Let's go around to the backpack, awesome backpack. Paint scheme is really, like I said, really, really nice. The dorsal plates, really compelling, superb. And his tail is laying flat on the ground, which is really, really good. I really do enjoy that. Now, mind you, the forearm guns, as well as the backpack, do not come off. So if you do get your hands on this figure, don't try to forcefully take it off. Otherwise, you may run the risk of breaking it and without a chance of trying to reassemble it properly again. But yeah, this is really cool. I really do enjoy that. Now, mind you, this version of Mechagodzilla does come up with light up eyes. As a matter of fact, Livy, do me a favor. Could you grab me that battery pack right there, please? Thank you. Got my lovely daughter, Livy, in the background. So, hey, Livy.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to showcase the light up feature of this Mechagodzilla. And it has a port. Where is it? I'm trying to see where the port is. Let's see. Where is it? Oops. There it is. Right there. Be hiding from me, dude. Okay, here we go. Bear with me. Okay. Now, here we go. So let's light up the light up feature. Very good. Very awesome. I do like the light up feature. My only gripe with that is that I kind of wish that the light up eyes would have been like red if they would install LEDs, a red LED inside underneath the lenses here. They kind of simulate the effect of, remember when Mechagodzilla went berserk, when Godzilla roared and it triggered the memories of the original Godzilla in his DNA, and it had like red eyes when it went berserk and went crazy. I kind of wish that maybe X Plus should have went that route, but even still, I do dig the light up feature here. It's really cool. So yeah, that's it with the light up feature. But yes, this is an amazing figure. It does have some size to him. He's not going to really be a shelf hog because, like I said, his tail is laying down flat, so he won't have an issue for a space with this guy. But he does have a presence, and he's in a way a little bit imposing. So yes, I love this figure. I'm really glad I got this version of Kiryu. So speaking of Kiryu, let's bring up his Kiryu counterpart. Now, here we go. The Kiryu from Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I'm not even going to say the original Japanese language of the film because that's just too many names to be naming. And as you can see, they are virtually, basically identical, except for the fact you have this little feature right here on his chest here, this metal part on his chest. The regular Kiryu doesn't have that, but basically they're virtually identical, except for also the arm here. The 2003 Kiryu, because this one you can actually take the arm off and install a drill. Because that's how it was in the film. So that's really the only differences between the two. So yeah, that's really good. Really do enjoy it. Like I said, I really wanted a Kiryu with the backpack. You know what I'm saying? He really does look awesome with the backpack, and I'm glad I was able to get it. So. All right, let's go for more size comparisons. So let's bring in other Mechagodzilla incarnations to kind of round this out a little bit. All right, hang tight. Okay, folks, I'm back. And now added to the mix are the original Mechagodzilla 1974. This is the original figure from X Plus, and this is a Sakuda kit of Mechagodzilla 1993. And as you can see, I got all versions of Mechagodzilla here. I do have a 75, but it's around here somewhere. But since there's not really much difference between the 74 and 75, I figured I wouldn't add that here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, on a side note, X Plus, if you're watching, we really want to figure this. Really, really do. Let me just throw my thoughts out there. Please make this either in a 30 centimeter with the Ric Boy being the Garuda to convert it to Super Mechagodzilla, or if you want to put this in a 25 centimeter range, also bring this a 25 centimeter Godzilla 1993. You know what I'm saying? Still had a Ric Boy option Mechagodzilla as to convert it to Super Mechagodzilla, but if you bring this to Godzilla X 93, maybe include a mini Fire Rodan or mini Baby Godzilla. Just my thoughts there. But yeah, that's pretty much it with my thoughts. Not thoughts, but that's pretty much my rant on Mechagodzilla. Hopefully we'll see something like that, Mechagodzilla 1993 sometime this year. But yeah, this is really awesome seeing all these Mechagodzillas together. And yeah. Kiryu 2002, Mechagodzilla 1993. The original 74 and Kiryu 2003. Yeah. I just love this machine. I love this kaiju. Even though it's a robot, it's still a kaiju, in my opinion. In my opinion, just my opinion, he's probably number 2 when it comes to the toughest enemies Godzilla has ever faced. Because think about it. This one right here caused Godzilla to bleed. Of course, Gigan did first, but the way he caused Godzilla to bleed in the 74 film is just, oh my God. How did that not traumatize you as a kid, seeing Godzilla bleed at the hand of this machine right here? Then you have Mechagodzilla 1993 that basically crippled Godzilla and basically just killed him. If it wasn't for Fire, then you can basically argue that Mechagodzilla really did kill Godzilla. At least he came real, real close to doing it. You know what I'm saying? And of course you have Kiryu, the first version of Kiryu, you know, where he fired that absolute zero cannon into Godzilla, where it created like a gigantic just gash and wound in his chest that it drove Godzilla away. There's not many times where Godzilla just basically left because he just wasn't able to continue to fight because he was wounded that deeply. So you gotta give Kiryu credit for that. And of course, the 2003 Kiryu, the way he basically took advantage of the wound that he caused in the previous film by just basically drilling into the wound and basically bringing Godzilla to his knees, and basically just was the pivotal factor in the battle in that film. So with that being said, I just think that with the exception of Hedra and Space Godzilla maybe, I think that Mechagodzilla is the toughest enemy Godzilla's ever faced. And this is awesome, having all incarnations of the great machine here. All right. Now I got two more size comparisons, and then I will wrap up my thoughts on why I love this figure so much. All right. Hang tight. Okay, folks. Here's I think the third size comparison or whatever. I've been doing a lot of size comparison in this video, so just bear with me. But I have this is fitting because I have the Summer Wonderfest Kiryu here, and I also have the Winter Wonderfest of Godzilla from Godzilla Final Wars. And I figured I'd put these two together since they're both Wonder Festival exclusive figures that were brought out at Wonderfest. And just want to give a little size comparison between the two. You know what? I'm gonna do a little fantasy booking while I got these two together, because looking at these two really has got my brain it got the wheels turning in my brain. So let's just say, after the events of Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, let's just say they didn't do Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Personally, Godzilla Tokyo SOS is a good film, but it's one of those films that really puts me to sleep. I mean, no offense to anybody that loves Godzilla Tokyo SOS, but it just puts me to sleep. It's good for what it is, but it's just, I don't know. But let's just say they didn't do Godzilla Tokyo SOS and they went straight to Godzilla Final Wars. Now, to take this ride with me. Now, let's just say, because I think that because they brought Mechagodzilla back or Kiryu back in Godzilla Tokyo SOS, which is why he wasn't in Godzilla Final Wars. Because think about it, they brought they brought back mostly all of the show monsters into Godzilla Final Wars. But the one big monster that was absent was Mechagodzilla, and obviously because he was in the previous two films. So maybe they didn't do Godzilla Tokyo SOS. What if they did? What if they didn't do Godzilla Tokyo SOS and went straight to Godzilla Final Wars? Okay, here's what happened. Now, after the events of Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, of course Godzilla comes back, and of course you can have the Gotengo fight Godzilla and imprison him down in the South Pole, right? Meanwhile, Mechagodzilla is still being repaired to after the battle he had with Godzilla in the previous film. Now the aliens come down, they unleash all the monsters all over the world, and meanwhile Mechagodzilla is finally functional, and he goes off and he has like missions to take out as much monsters as he can. But then it's obviously overwhelming for him, so they decide to release Godzilla. So therefore, Godzilla takes out half the monsters. Mechagodzilla takes out half the monsters, and you can basically combine the monster action between the two of them, where they both have individual fights between the two of them. But yet you can basically stretch out the fights in Final Wars, because that was probably one of the main gripes with the film, that the fight scenes with the monsters are pretty quick. But if you can split them up between these two, where they're basically fighting for the same side, you can have longer monster battles. And we can have some monster battles that we haven't really seen before, like Mechagodzilla taking on Kamunga or Anguirus, or, well, we've seen that kind of, but it was the fake Godzilla, but you get what I mean. King Caesar, whatever, Rodan, whatever, and have Godzilla take out the rest of the monsters. Then Godzilla comes to Tokyo at the final battle, and then they unleash Gigan and Monster X. And then Mechagodzilla arrives on the scene and he fights Gigan while Godzilla takes on Monster X. And Mechagodzilla defeats Gigan, but is severely damaged. And so when Monster X transforms into Kaiser Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla basically transfers the rest of his life force, because he does have DNA inside him of Godzilla, transfers that to Godzilla, and then Godzilla basically beats up King Ghidorah the way he did in the final film. So that's how I would book it, basically, just to include Mechagodzilla into the film. Because that's one thing I've always said that I wanted to see in a Godzilla film, seeing Godzilla and Mechagodzilla's fight side by side. And that's kind of like one of the interesting things I love about the Millennium film, Mechagodzilla, which I will touch on in a few seconds. But that's my idea of fantasy booking, if I would do it, between having Kiryu, either this version or the 2003 version of Kiryu, fight side by side with Godzilla to save the world. So, but yeah, let's just do one more size comparison and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, folks, I'm back with my last size comparison, and I have with me the 30cm 2003 Godzilla from Godzilla Tokyo SOS. And as you can see, even though it's not the same Godzilla from Godzilla X Mechagodzilla, it still is a good stand-in, especially if you want to get this figure. Now, mind you, the only difference between this suit and the 2002 suit, it's pretty much the same suit. It's just slightly modified, maybe just a little bit. And also, there's a huge scar, or at least imprint of the scar, like it was in the film on the suit. But it can still provide us a great stand-in if you want to recreate Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. And let me just dive head first into my thoughts on the film. I enjoy the film for what it is. Mind you, it's not my favorite Mechagodzilla story. My favorite is the original one, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1974. But I do have some gripes with the film. It's the fact that I really can't get behind the story. I can't really get behind the events that culminated in Godzilla Mechagodzilla coming together in this film. However, I do appreciate the direction they were trying to go with Mechagodzilla as far as the character. The fact that you have Godzilla's DNA inside Mechagodzilla, you kind of get the sense, at least they try to push it just a little bit, that maybe they don't want to fight each other, especially from Godzilla's standpoint. And you know what? I think they mentioned inside in the film, maybe Mechagodzilla doesn't want to fight, because he is speculated whether he sees Godzilla as a true enemy or not, as far as himself. But case in point, when Godzilla and Mechagodzilla or Kiryu first see each other in the 2002 film, basically Godzilla just stands there, and it's like, in a way, he's kind of bewilderment, like he senses a sort of a kinship between the two, like he senses his DNA inside Mechagodzilla. Because when Mechagodzilla lands right there in front of him, Godzilla doesn't really do anything. He doesn't attack him. He doesn't try to fire his beam at him. He doesn't try to punch him or anything. And then at that point, Mechagodzilla starts attacking him. And still at that point, Godzilla still did not do anything. And then before Mechagodzilla was going to fire his absolute zero weapon, of course Godzilla roars, then basically causes Kiryu to malfunction. Then basically Godzilla just turns around and leaves. That's very uncharacteristic for Godzilla. Normally Godzilla, he normally just pushes forward. He mostly is on the offense. He's always driving forward. Very few times where Godzilla just basically turns and just go in the opposite direction. You don't really know why. I think, like I said, that he senses the DNA inside of Mechagodzilla and really doesn't want to fight him. But in the climatic fight of the film, Godzilla's basically left with no choice. But once again, Kiryu attacks him because he's trying to stop him from destroying the world, destroying the city. So Godzilla is not going to be a punching bag for anybody. So he just reciprocates and is just relentless when his onslaught. But that's one of the major things I really love about this film. This is the first time that Godzilla and Mechagodzilla are the only two monsters in the film. Of course, they show stock footage of other monsters to illustrate why they need to build Mechagodzilla. But basically, Godzilla and Mechagodzilla are the only two monsters in the film, and this is the only time since these two have been created that they fight one-on-one. And I really do enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Because in the first film, Mechagodzilla had to fight King Caesar and Godzilla. In Terra Mechagodzilla, Godzilla had to fight both Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla. In Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 1993, or Part 2, it was joined by Fire Rodan. But this is the very first time where we see Godzilla and Mechagodzilla fight one-on-one. I really do enjoy that. I really do enjoy the fight. And really just showcases this advantage that this Mechagodzilla has over any other incarnation of Mechagodzilla. To me, this Mechagodzilla stands out on his own because of the fact that he's able to fight Godzilla in close combat. He's able to be on the offense. Whereas Mechagodzilla in the show, he was good at shooting his beams, his weapons from afar, and he was good on the offense. But once, if you were able to trap him, he's not good at getting out situations. He's not good at defending himself. The Heisei Mechagodzilla, he was good at the same thing, basically firing his weapons from afar, but he wasn't good at close combat. In this version, you see him like smack Godzilla, grab him by his tail, twist him around, throw him around, and he brings the fight to Godzilla in close combat. I really do enjoy it. But the rest of the story about the human plot, whatever, I'm not really a fan of it. But I do appreciate for what they were trying to do. I really do. But with that being said, I really do enjoy this figure. I really, really do. If you can find one, I highly suggest you pick it up. You know, he's been out there every now and then, but he is on the expensive side because they only made just a select few of these. I think they made like 50 for the Wonder Festival show, the Summer Wonder Festival show in Japan. I think they made like 50 more to be auctioned off at a lottery or whatever. So basically like 100 of these made. There's not many of these made. So if you ever find one, if you ever get your hands on one, if you really do want it, I highly suggest you do get it, but you may have to spend a little bit of money to get it. Or you can wait for when Diamond will reissue Kiryu, not this version, mind you, but Kiryu will be reissued sometime this year from Diamond, courtesy of S Plus. But I really do enjoy this because of the blue backpack and the forearm guns. It's really, really, really cool. Really, really awesome. I highly recommend you get it, find it wherever or whenever you can. Once again, thank you, Jeffrey. I really do appreciate you selling this to me. Thank you for being so cool and just basically being a sterling reminder of why this hobby is so great and so awesome. Thank you so much for selling this to me. Also, check out the Facebook groups I'm about to mention. The S Plus Collectors Facebook group, the Godzilla Collectors Facebook group, Toy Explosion, Japanese Toy and Figure Services, Sci-Fi Labyrinth, and Toho Nation, or Toku Nation, I believe, and Toho Kaiju Union. And check out KaijuAddicts.com for all things S Plus. Once again, it's KaijuAddicts.com. And that concludes my review of the Mechagodzilla Kiryu 2002, Ric Boy from the Wonder Festival, Summer Wonder Festival 2015. You got any questions, holler at me on Facebook via Mark Calloway, or comment, holler me down in the comment section, and we'll definitely go from there. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all watching and tuning in. I'm sorry it's been kind of like a long review here, but hey, I got a lot to say, and I'm just passionate. And I'm really do loving this figure. I really, really do. Like I said, if you get your hands on one, if you try to get your hands on one, you will not be disappointed with the purchase. All right. Once again, I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see y'all again on the next figure and move review. All right? Y'all take it easy.